Alrighty, so today's video, everyone, is about interviewing, like job interviewing. And it's a chit-chat time video, kind of, because, I've currently started a new job probably about a month ago. And I've been on a lot of interviews. And before that, I was working at the same place for about 5 or 6 years. So I hadn't gone on interviews for a long time. And when I started going to interviews, you kind of have to get back into the interview game thing. I guess that's how I can call it. Oh, I moved my camera. Why? No, sorry. Yeah, you kind of have to get back in the interview game. So I just want to give a little bit of advice or talk about different situations about interviewing. So, interviewing. I'm going to make this standard and say for every kind of interview, I am a tech, so I am going out for tech interviews, meaning IT, information technology, computers, tech interview. So maybe for some people in tech, it's not as necessary to be as friendly as in other jobs. I'm not talking about retail and stuff like that, but in general. So there are pretty much like 2 different types of interviews, in my opinion. There could be more, but I'll say like 2 different types. There is the interview that is based strictly on personality, and there is the interview that is based strictly on skills. Apart from the fact that whoever is interviewing you, that person is also either going to be watching you like a hawk and analyzing every little word that you say, or that person just wants to have a cool conversation with you without any problems. Examples. I went on an interview, and I interviewed with the director of the place, and the systems admin came in, and some other tech came in while I was interviewing. And that guy just stared me down like I was the enemy. He went through my resume, and he asked me every little detail, and then gave me this glare, are you telling the truth? Do you know this stuff? Are you lying? And it kind of made me really nervous and uncomfortable. When somebody's looking at you as if you're lying when you're not lying, and it just makes you so uncomfortable that you're like, stop looking at me like that, stop interrogating me. And so, that interview, I left that interview feeling like, oh, God. No, not only did I not like it, but hell no, I do not want to work for a person that is going to be staring me down or looking at me like that when I'm working at the spot. You do not want that. That is a no. I was asked, standard regular questions, which you do. In those cases, in those kinds of interviews, the best thing that you can do is be professional. I'm not saying that you shouldn't always be professional, because you should always be professional. But in that case, you should be extra professional. Keep your answers short, keep them to the point, don't elaborate, let them interview you, and let them do the talking, and you just do the answering to their questions. Because sometimes people can get in this kind of confused state where they talk too much and they screw up by talking too much. Or while they're talking, they say one thing or another that person picks out on, and then will just pick you on. And if you're not ready for that at the moment, it can throw you off, and it can screw up your interview if you really want to work at that place. So that's some good advice right there. Then there's another kind of interview. I interviewed at this other place, and it was just the people were so friendly. I mean, so friendly. And I'll tell you why I hate that. Because a job is a job. You're supposed to go to a job, work your hours, and go home. Not everybody wants a job to be social. Not everybody wants to have it be a community. Not everybody wants to go play softball on the weekends. People want to go to work, make their money, go home, and hang out with their own people. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hang out with work people that, you're going to go on the weekend, and what if something happens and they bring it up during the week and you lose your job for that reason? I mean, I sat in this interview, and one of the people was like, well, we really like to drink beer around here. Drinking beer is really awesome. It's really great, and we like our employees to drink beer. And I was sitting there oh my God, what is he saying? Drink beer, man? And then he was like, yes, because when I interviewed here myself, my boss, he had a glass of scotch on his table, and it was just so great. You know, he was drinking scotch. He was so great. And I'm just like there sitting like, oh, yeah, wow. And I'm trying to be like all smiling, like, that's great, yes, beer. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, these people. Funny enough, they didn't even call me either. And they didn't call me back. They were going to give me the job before that interview. And then they didn't give me the job because my personality didn't fit in. And I'm like, really? Oh, sorry that I had to be jumping up and down and wanting to drink beer during work hours, which makes no sense. So in those kind of interviews, you know, sometimes you can't do anything. You can try to be friendly, you can try to talk, or you can try to not talk or say much. And it's really going to depend on the person. But sometimes I would say you have to be talkative and friendly and nice, but be reserved and know your boundaries and know your limits. If you're being interviewed by somebody that's being a complete, like, military style in your face person, then really just shut up and, like, only answer when you're asked about. Other than that, if you guys want tips on how to dress for interviews, what to wear for interviews, all that stuff, I can make another video about that. But in general, when you interview, try to do as much research on the place that you can. Try to read the description of the position as much as you can and cater yourself or your interview to that position. You know, don't try to do more or do less. If you want the job, if you say that you can do more, it's kind of like they have an expectation of you to do more, and even when the position asks for less skills. So try to cater yourself to the position. Be cool, be mellow, you know, don't say too much, don't say too little. It's really a fine line. And try to be pleasant, try to ask them questions, you know, and put them on the spot. And I don't mean aggressively, but I just mean in a manner where they feel like you're interested, you know, you want to know more, you're interested in the position, you're interested to know more about the company or where you're working or what you will be doing, you know, talk about a little bit about yourself, but not about your personal self, you know, like, oh, this is what I used to do at my last job or my current job, this is what I did, you know, this is what I was good at. No, I may not know how to do that, but it's something I can learn and I can figure out, and just do that kind of thing. So yeah, I hope that helped, and until next time, bye!